You know, there are many laws in the universe, but one of the most powerful is the law of attraction. And I've used it in my life so successfully to manifest so many things in so many areas of my life: better health, better wealth, more abundance, business success, relationship success, and so on. So, what is the law of attraction? The law of attraction says that what I think about, focus on, talk about, fantasize about, and feel deeply, I'm going to bring more of or attract more of into my life. And so, what I read, what I watch on television, what I think about, what I argue about, what I expose myself to, I'm going, especially when I have strong feelings about it. Like if you can watch the news and have no reaction, probably won't affect you. But if you're watching the news and you're getting angry about it, or you're feeling scared about it, then you're actually attracting more of the very things that you don't want into your life. So, law of attraction breaks down into pretty much three steps, which is to ask, believe, and receive. And so the first step is asking. What does that mean? Every thought we have that's a preference or a want or even something we don't want, we're trying to push out of our life, what happens is we are asking for that, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. So what I like to do is be very conscious about my intentions. What is it that I want to manifest in my health, in my fun and recreation area of my life, in terms of my career and my job, financially, in terms of possessions and spiritual and emotional growth? What kind of difference do I want to make in the world? What contribution do I want to make, etc. So when we look at all those areas and we get intentional and sit down and map out what my ideal life might look like, that becomes a very powerful way of asking. Setting goals with timelines on them is another way to take asking and make it more specific. Also, you can ask inner guidance. You can ask God, source, universe, whatever you call it, for what would be the next step that I need to take, what would be for my highest good, and then allow that to come in through meditation, and then take it and set it into goals and vision down on this material plane so that you can take it forward. The second step is to believe you can actually have it, to believe it's possible for you and that it's possible for other humans. That's why I like to read inspirational books. It's why I wrote the Chicken Soup book, so that people would have lots of stories that would inspire them to believe that everyday people could do extraordinary things, whether they were acts of love or whether they were overcoming obstacles, whether they were physical, financial, relational, whatever. And the third step is to allow yourself to receive. And the receiving part of this is very important, and that is the part that most people miss. And that's to realize that you have to be a vibrational match for that which you're trying to attract into your life. And what does that mean, be a vibrational match for what you want? If I'm wanting abundance in my life, financial abundance, then I need to act as if I am abundant. I need to be generous. I need to be believing that I can afford what I want, that I can afford to, tip people in a restaurant, that I can afford to tithe at church, etc. If I want to be attracting more things to be joyful about in my life, then I need to come from a state of joy. So the feeling state that you are is going to attract more things that will allow you to feel that. Forgiveness is a big piece of working on receiving, because if I forgive, I let go. If I'm resenting somebody, I have my hands up and I'm pushing them away. And when I'm pushing them away, I'm pushing the abundance that wants to come into my life away. If I accept you the way you are, then what happens is I'm open. My hands are open to receive other things like new cars, better job, better relationship, more joy, in addition to receiving you, because I'm not judging you for the way you are. So that's an important piece. Gratitude. See, if I were to be given $1 million, I would feel grateful. If I was to be given my ideal job, I would feel grateful. So if I stay in a state of gratitude for the things I already have, the abundance that's already in my life, to do a gratitude exercise, like write for 5 minutes about what I'm grateful for in the morning or right before I go to bed, or to do what we call a rampage of appreciation, where you just look around the room and say, God, I'm glad for this camera that's taking my picture right now and allowing you to hear these words. I'm grateful for the people behind the camera, for all the electricity, for Thomas Edison who created it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then it takes me into a state of joy and gratitude, and then I get more things attracted to me to be grateful for. So be clear about what you want. Believe it's possible. Release it to the universe so you don't have to know exactly how it's going to come, but trust that it will. Take the obvious actions that make sense. And then if there are inspirations that occur to you, take those actions as well. Trust your intuition. And then be in a state of gratitude, a state of joy, a state of forgiveness, a state of abundance, and so forth. And if you're in those states, you're going to attract. So ask, believe, and part of believing is taking action, because you only act on the things you believe are possible, and then spend the rest of your time being in those states, and you will attract everything you want.